Welcome, brothers. So you've gone through a divorce. I get it. I'm right there with you because I've been there myself, unfortunately. I know it's tough, and no doubt there's many things that you wish you could have done differently, but that thing is gone. That ship has sailed. But this doesn't have to be the end of the story. As an older man, you probably feel like you've been through the ringer, probably a couple of times. I know, like I said, I've got the scars to prove it from my divorce. But here's what I've learned. And at this stage of life, there's an opportunity for you. It's an opportunity to reset, to rebuild, and rediscover your life and who you are. And trust me, I've been where you are. I know what you're going through. And let me tell you, it gets better. I know it's hard to believe right now, but it will get better. I, for one, right now, after my divorce, I'm traveling. I'm here in Paraguay. It's damn cold because it's opposite of the United States in the seasons, so it's chilly here right now. But I'm on a South American trip, and life is good. And it will be for you. So let's start with a few basics. You know, you're feeling like the world just flipped upside down on you. You have this sense that you're in a deep, dark hole and you don't know how to climb out of it. You know, when my second marriage ended, yeah, I know I got 2 strikes. You know, I felt like I've been kicked in the gut, maybe a little bit lower, but I won't lie. In just a couple of months that I spent just in self-depression, I felt like the walls were coming in on me and I felt like I was in hell. But I eventually realized I needed time to heal. I didn't have time to move on. It was just felt like that everything was consuming me. But you know, that time alone, that actually helped me because I realized I didn't have to heal on somebody else's timeline. I just healed on my own. I looked at a lot of things in retrospect during that time. And I realized that, hey, this time alone is actually rewarding. It's actually something that I can use. Now, granted, I first started out that time alone. I just drank myself to bed every night. I damn near became an alcoholic, I felt like, because that's all I did. It was the only thing that helped me get to sleep, and it just started consuming me. But you know what? One day, with the help of a friend who I talked to all the time, finally, I got myself out of it. I went and I said, hey, I'm killing myself. I am going to be out there. I'm going to be single, whether I like it or not, at that point in time. And I said, I've got to do something. So I put away the bottle, put away my sorrow, put away for feeling sorry for myself. And I replaced that with an outlook of, this time can be very good for me. It can help me. Because you know what happens when you have that time alone? That time alone allows you to do things that you didn't do before. It allows you to re-engage with all those things that you missed when you're married. Everybody who's married, and you know this as well, when you're married, your time is consumed by your family, is consumed by your wife. Everything you do is with her. You know, you guys go out to dinner together, you guys go to work, you come home. She's there, you're there. You're constantly basically entertaining each other because that is your life partner. And so you tend to put away those things that you once did, your hobbies, your enjoyments that you used to do, because you don't have time for that anymore. Something has got to give. Well, now look at it this way. That time alone is now, and that time allows you to get back to those things that you enjoyed. For me, it was woodworking. I love woodworking, and I started making stereo cabinets and other things. And I also love being in the outdoors. I went on hikes. I just walk and stuff like that. I also looked at myself and I said, hey, damn, you're fat. You got to get back in shape. And so I started regularly going to the gym. And I mean, I'm not going for 10 minutes. I wanted to make it an hour a day. So now I had time because I didn't have to schedule myself around another person. There was no excuses, nothing else. I made myself go. I lost 20 pounds. I feel much better. I just, physically and mentally. And then all these things, these hobbies, these enjoyments that you have brings inner peace too. It allows you to come back from that dark place. And you realize that, hey, you know what? I'm alone, but I'm really not lonely. I'm just getting myself back on track. Now, another thing I would talk about being alone is, and one of the pitfalls for guys that are recently divorced, is dating. Every person is different on when they should start dating. You will know when it's right for you. I can't say, hey, it could be 3 months, it could be a year, it could be at any point in time. But you will know. And because of that time, make sure you don't make that fatal mistake, which many people do, and that is start dating too soon. We all know what a rebound relationship is. Well, just that rebound dating or any of that is often you're just replacing your spouse with someone else. You just need that comfort of a female there with you. You want to wake up to somebody. You want to have that companionship. And oftentimes that leads to a bad relationship. And it sinks you back down that hole even further. You cannot enter a relationship like that and make it so you're replacing your wife. Give yourself some time. You'll know when it's right to start dating again. It took me a while. Here I am. I'm in Paraguay. I love traveling, so I traveled. I'm spending months down in South America, going from country to country. My next stop may be Brazil. I may go to Colombia. Who knows? I spent my life living and working overseas quite a bit. So I felt now is the time for me to do it. And I'm traveling alone. I'm meeting people along the way. I'm not lonely. I'm alone. I've met plenty of women. And let me tell you, there's an opportunity out there as an older man, who we all know in other countries, age is not that big of a deal. You can meet younger women. You can meet women your own age. It doesn't matter. And so there's opportunities out there for you to regain yourself, to regain your sanity, to regain your emotions, your physical and your financial well-being by just taking a little bit of time. And speaking of finances, financially, we do not do well in divorces. We know that. Okay? But now is the time for you. You can look at your finances, and everything that you have is spent upon you. There's no more listening to your wife, what furniture she wants to buy, what she thinks are the priority for the house, or anything else. All your finances now are dedicated to your whims. And that's a great thing. You don't have to worry about her feelings. If you want to travel and you feel like flying first class, you do it. If you don't have the money and you feel like, okay, I'm just going to drive cross country, I'm going to do whatever you decide is your decision. And that's a great thing because now you really have financial freedom. Usually with the divorce settlement, you know how much you're paying out. If you have a monthly stipend you have to pay to her or anything else, you know what your finances are now as an older man. It may set you back a bit. Your finances may not enable you to retire right now. You might have to work a few more years. You might have to sacrifice a few things because you have to start all over. You know, we all started living in a cheap studio apartment with a blow-up mattress on the floor. You know, we all did that after our divorce. But slowly you're recovering and you know what you want. Okay? So don't look at just because you're alone, you will be lonely. Do not confuse alone time with loneliness. This alone time will enable you to get your life back on track. And guys, always remember, things will get better. They always will, because there is a life after wife. I ask that you guys subscribe, leave a comment, give us your experiences in these comments on what other guys can do to help themselves based upon their own experiences. Okay, until the next one, be safe.